Why on earth would you have hurt those people? Why did you kill those people?
No comment. No comment.
Born on February 29, 1960, in El Paso, Texas, Ricardo Leyva Muñoz Ramírez's life was marked by violence and dysfunction from the beginning. Frequently abused by his father, the young Ramirez sustained head injuries that caused lasting brain damage. But it was his relationship with an older cousin, Mike, that would push him further down a dark path. Mike was a Vietnam War veteran who boasted about the atrocities he committed during the war, showing young Richard graphic photos of his victims. His influence on the boy was profound, not only teaching him military skills but also exposing him to extreme violence. In a shocking incident, Mike murdered his own wife in front of Richard when he was just 15. By his early 20s, Ramirez left his troubled home in Texas and moved to California. This was a critical turning point. He became heavily addicted to cocaine, and his addiction fueled a series of burglaries to support his habit. At first, these break-ins were mostly about stealing to support his drug addiction, but soon they took a darker turn. These burglaries would escalate into brutal, sadistic acts of violence that would leave an indelible scar on California's history. Between April 1984 and August 1985, Richard Ramirez embarked on a brutal killing spree that claimed at least 14 lives. His attacks were unpredictable, sometimes occurring in the dead of night, other times in the afternoon. He became known as the Night Stalker, the Valley Intruder, and the walk-in killer. His weapon of choice? Anything he could find. Guns, knives, a machete, a tire iron, even a claw hammer. His victims were not just killed, they were tortured, humiliated, and degraded. He punched, pistol-whipped, and strangled many of his victims. In one horrifying instance, he stomped a woman to death while she slept. And in another, he used an electrical cord to torture a woman, shocking her repeatedly. Ramirez left satanic symbols at some crime scenes, spreading even more fear among residents. As the body count rose, the LAPD and the media scrambled to make sense of the terror gripping the city. But the randomness of Ramirez's attacks made him difficult to catch. Victims ranged in age, gender, and background. No one felt safe. Residents lived in fear of the next attack. The randomness of the crimes was chilling. At night, homes turned into fortresses. Locks were changed, security was tightened, but for many it was too late. Eventually, police found crucial clues, including shoe prints from his rare Avia sneakers, which matched prints found at multiple crime scenes. The chase intensified. In August 1985, Ramirez was recognized in a Los Angeles neighborhood after his picture was broadcast on television. In a dramatic twist of fate, he was captured by a group of brave residents who beat him before police arrived to take him into custody. Ramirez was charged with 13 counts of murder, 5 attempted murders, 11 sexual assaults, and 14 burglaries. During his trial, he showed no remorse, often flashing pentagrams to the cameras and declaring his allegiance to Satan. In 1989, Ramirez was sentenced to death. The judge remarked that his actions exhibited cruelty, callousness, and viciousness beyond any human understanding. Despite receiving 19 death sentences, Ramirez showed no regret. He never expressed remorse for his heinous crimes.
They are desires, whereas if I didn't give in to them, I would be crushed by them.
In 2013, he died of complications from B-cell lymphoma while awaiting execution on death row. Richard Ramirez's reign of terror left a deep scar on California. His actions forced the public to confront the terrifying randomness of evil. For more than a year, the Night Stalker turned fear into reality.